Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Grandmaster Shaymin, and today we have another episode of Fatal 12. In the last episode, well, a lot of stuff happened with the cultural festival, but now Naomi seems to be being held hostage by you as the cultural festival continues. Something that I personally thought was going to happen. It should be interesting to see. I almost have a feeling that you tried to team up with someone, maybe even number 11? Perhaps, or maybe even Alan, maybe number 12, though I doubt it considering Alan would force him to have all of his cards. And it should be interesting to see what happens next, so make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me because you already know your support is greatly appreciated, as well as leaving a comment in the comment section down below for me. Alright, I make my way out to the hallway, which is as lively as ever. There's even more people than before, which leads to an even bigger line to get into the classroom. Where's Naomi? I don't see them anywhere. You should stand out regardless of how many people there are, so they might not be on this floor. Immediately after that, something I could never expect unfolds. A thunderous roar bursts down the hallway. The whole building shakes. It's a bit too short, too weak to be an earthquake, though. Unrest starts to spread to the students and visitors, though. None of them expected something like this to occur. Worry and confusion take hold. A sharp headache follows soon after. It's similar to the one I experienced when I first met you in person. Wait, that's right. Our meeting in front of Shinketsu's house wasn't our first. My memory's a bit fuzzy, but my psyche is sending me warning signals. Either way, all I can do is head towards the source of the noise. I dash through the crowd, who have already begun to settle back down. It isn't until I am on my to another floor that the evacuation order gets issued. Did she just blow up some of the building? She blew up some of the building, didn't she? Or sorry. Naomi finds herself in pursuit of a young boy. She doesn't know his name, but the look in his eyes was familiar. While the class leader... Oh, she remembers too, huh? So she's probably got these red flags going off. While the class leader has to make sure everything runs smoothly, she decides to go with some friends to stock up and ensure they don't miss anything, as well as take charge in the off chance that what they need is sold out. As expected, they couldn't find the exact things they needed, but she was able to pick out suitable replacements. Fortunately, she expected that things might become hectic on their first day. She did everything that she could to ensure that things go well, but it's rare for that to happen when doing such things for the first time. Curious about how things were going, they make their way back to the school. Everything's fine until Naomi notices a boy with bright hair amongst the students. He's wearing an mecha uniform. The most striking thing about him is that he was easy to mistake for a regular student, thanks to his gender-neutral appearance. However, Naomi is aware of his true nature. He is a participant of the divine selection. He could very well be Rinka's enemy. Huh. He's in a girl's uniform. It does look good on you, though. Ellipses. He looks all around as he explores the school. Naomi can only surmise that he's searching for someone, most likely Rinka. At first, she considers getting in touch with Rinka, who's probably still at school, but her phone battery is dead. Out of all the things to forget, it had to be charging her phone. Ellipses. Naomi has already convinced herself to take charge of the situation. She makes up an excuse for her friends and then begins to tail him. Something's different. He resembles a predator searching for its prey. This isn't the same person she saw at the station the other day. Her gut is telling her that he's planning something here. Her heart races, every thump palpable. Just then, a sharp headache overtakes her. Her mind flashes back to the dreams she had of Rinka's death. Dreams she had told Rinka about. Those were memories of an event that had been undone. There were still too many question marks surrounding it, though. Why had it happened? How did it happen? And the perpetrator behind it. The perpetrator? Her memories began to catch up with her as she tails the boy. Why is there suddenly a perpetrator involved? The answer is simple. She recognized the looks in the boy's eyes. This isn't about Rinka anymore. I'm as involved with him as she is. The worse the headache gets, the more she comes to realize that her dreams are in fact reality. Ellipses. He makes his way to a less crowded area despite seeming to be in search of someone. It makes tailing him much more difficult, but Naomi refuses to back down. Ellipses. Eventually he makes his way to a certain classroom. Not one being used by any class or culture festival. It's serving as a storage area for unused chairs and desks. Naomi is able to find an appropriate hiding spot thanks to that. However, her hopes of remaining hidden are quickly shattered. There's no need to keep hiding. She can't stifle her surprise about being called out. His explanation may be silly, but she is aware that there's no time to be embarrassed over such a minor thing. While she's unsure what to say, he opts to carry the conversation forward. I know that you're dear to number one. She died after protecting you from the blast on that train, after all. Those dreams were real then. A chill runs straight down her spine. Her every nerve fires signals of fear upon confirmation that her dreams are reality. I bear no ill will towards you, but regardless, I need you to become a sacrifice. It's her duty alone to kill me. What in the world are you talking about? She spared my life before and as a result awakened my true self. I only know one way to live, and that's why I need to be erased, no matter the cost. A light flashes through the room before Naomi can process what the boy means. A massive roar thunders along with the light. You and your freaking explosion magic. God damn it, Megumi. Now you're a bad guy. Jeez. The windows of the classroom crack under the atmospheric pressure of the blast, and Naomi is blown away without a moment to scream. Once again, she's come face to face with a bomb. It is in this moment that she remembers her fate inherently connected with the others. It hurts. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Yo. That freaking picture, though? You looks impressive. And very evil. But, I mean, that's kind of the point. I knew you were tailing me all along, but it worked out in my favor. I planned on bringing you to this room in the first place. I planted a number of bombs at the desks here. All of this just to kill you. Why would you? Being in such close contact with the explosion has marred her entire body with third-degree burns, or worse. Yep. Oh my god damn it, Naomi. You had to go and do it. You couldn't have just run away and found Rinka. She's gotten pierced by several pieces of shrapnel that formed from the blast. The raw force of the blast has crushed her ribs. Her breathing is ragged, weak, and ready to fade at any moment. It's ironic how things work for us participants. The explosion should have affected me just as badly, but all I have is this scratch on my cheek. The wind also happened to blow in my favor, while the desk simply happened to shield me. As for you, try not to talk anymore. Fragments of objects caught in the blast are smoldering in every corner of the room. The cracked windows eventually gave in and collapsed, allowing a large supply of oxygen to flow in. In response, even the tiniest of flames spark up. Naomi can only lay there as the heat washes over her in waves. All this while her senses slowly, steadily fade. This should serve as more than enough for her to realize what's at stake. Why? You're still able to talk. I'm surprised you'd even bother in your condition. His frigid response is enough to douse the strongest of flames. She's not going to die, right? Right? Please, no. Naomi is a really cool character. I liked her speech a lot that she had earlier. She doesn't deserve this. I told you already. I need to be erased no matter the cost. But at the same time, I want to believe that there's meaning behind my death. I'm positive that her being the one to do me in would supply such a meaning. She lacks the will right now, though. That's why I'm going to give it to her. Why? So persistent. You're about to die, but still, I'd rather not reveal too much. Don't worry. I'll make it quick. The boy approaches and clasps his hand around Naomi's thin neck, not an ounce of hesitation or worry in his voice. And yet... Why do you look so sad? Even on the brink of death, she can notice the grief lurking behind the fierce look in his eyes. Shut up! He crushes her throat before breaking her neck. No, Rinka didn't... Naomi. What? What? Oh no. Even if she comes back when he's eliminated. Oh my god. I thought for sure Rinka would come in and save her. Oh, fuck. I can't. I can't even believe it. I can't. He crushes her throat before breaking her neck. The sound of her bone breaking gets muted by the wood crackling in flames. He notices footsteps outside the classroom. His eyes focus on the door. Naomi! Good timing. Even Rinka's cries are overwhelmed by the roaring fire. I can't believe it. Naomi. The fire alarm rings through the PA system, warning both students and visitors of the situation at hand. It isn't necessary for me to understand what's going on, though. I'm bearing witness to the sea of fire that caused it to go off. Inside the room, the two figures cloaked within the flames. I can't process the situation immediately. Naomi! The smoke bellowing in the room burns my throat as I struggle to speak. Naomi, no. I may have been better off not knowing what had happened. Naomi! Her body is lifeless, like a puppet without its support, and her body is being held by a boy. You. He steps away from her, and her body collapses to the floor. I dash towards her in an attempt to catch her. I have no chance to reach her in time, though. Just as her body touches the floor, the flames swarm all over her uniform. I press on, though. Nothing will stop me from getting to her, or so I think. Before I know it, I've fallen on my behind. It was Yu's doing. He approached and knocked me down without me noticing. Did you do this? I've been instructed to become a hero ever since I can remember. The entire concept of becoming a hero is a cheap way for others to make you do their bidding. I knew that, yet I did nothing. It was all I knew. I had no parents, no friends, certainly no allies, and the only thing my past self had were missions to accomplish. Everything about my life was meaningless. I simply carried out every mission assigned to me in order to live on. I don't care. What have you done to Naomi? Your death was one such consequence. The only difference that time around was that I died along with you. I was meant to go out like a hero. The very image of a hero I recognized as worthless. Something in me changed, though. I need to call an ambulance. Hang in there, Naomi. I learned what it meant to lead a worthless life. But now that my memories have returned, I have no right to desire such a thing. In its place, the very least I can wish for is a meaningful death. To go out as a person, not a hero. I'm no hero, nor am I someone's puppet. I'm a human being like everyone else. Kill me. Settle the score with your own fate. Shut the hell up. Nothing he's saying registers. Naomi is the only thing I'm concerned with. Not even the flames can distract me of that. Beating back the fire, I raise to my feet. I reach out my hand through the smoke out towards her. Fine, do what you want. We can't die from this anyway. Let me make one thing clear, though. Give her back. I have no intention of letting myself get killed so simply. Give Naomi back. He was no longer in my line of sight. I don't care about that, though. The only thing on my mind, only thing I understand the moment I make contact with her lifeless body, it's too late to save her. He crushed her windpipe and then set her on fire. Good evening, young lady. A harrowing experience befell you, I see. Alas, such is fate. Stop. Amidst those flames, you finally remembers the events that transpired, yes? You can no longer avert your eyes from the truth. I don't want to know. Perhaps I'm best off keeping this brief. In that case, let's proceed. It's time for you to face your own fate. I noticed the bomb inside the bag. The specifics are beyond me, but it's comprised a tube and a bag. The events came back to me in slow motion. Sparks fly from it, causing the liquid inside of the bag to spark. An explosion follows, swallowing the entire train in flames. I remember exactly who was responsible. I'm going to become a hero. This was before I had my card book, so I shouldn't have understood what he was saying. But I understand now, though I'm not sure why. The explosion sent him flying first. The salarymen beside him followed almost immediately. The train was full due to everyone making their way home from work, so this was likely the ideal time to do the most damage. The smell of burnt fat ran through the train. Naomi! My first instinct was to shield Naomi. I felt tremendous impact on my back, which sent me and Naomi flying. The train had stopped by this point, but panic had spread among those not taken out by the blast. Meanwhile, my body had been devastated. I couldn't tell what state I was in. All I knew is that I wouldn't make it. As such, the only thing on my mind was Naomi. If I was going to make it, then I'll do everything I could. If I wasn't going to make it, I'd make sure that Naomi did. She had hit her head on the blast, however, rendering her unconscious. I can't say for sure whether or not this was a mere coincidence. The boy responsible for all this landed right in front of me after the blast. The flames continued to consume both our bodies. How I'll finally be a hero. Don't kid yourself. I'm not sure if I actually exchanged words then. I may just be something I made up as a coping mechanism. You won't become a hero. You're not even human. You're just a puppet. The boy used his remaining strength to extend his hands to my throat, and he crushed it. At that moment, the flames lit up again, blowing him out of the train. Rinka! Rinka! Naomi's screams called out to me while I was on the brink of death. As the fierce flames of the train grew fiercer, the fire in my soul flickered and faded. I'm not surprised. That's pretty much how I thought it would happen. Those were the memories I had forgotten, the truth locked away in my subconscious. It's no wonder my cause of death had never materialized when I thought I simply caught on fire. The fire wasn't what killed me, it was suffocation after my throat had been crushed. I hear the sound of the rain outside as I wake up. Looking out the window, I notice how dark it is. Despite the time, small droplets of rain pour endlessly from the sky. It's the beginning of the rainy season. Leith, who dislikes the rain, is curled up in the corner of the room. I struggle to remember exactly what happened between now and yesterday. Apparently Miharu rescued me from the flames after I fell unconscious. However, how I got home is a mystery. But it looks like I didn't bother to change or even crawl into bed. When I woke up, I was on the floor. Yesterday's events were no dream either. Checking on my phone, it made the news, though without much prominent coverage. It doesn't seem like it's being reported as a terrorist attack. I'm not sure why. Possibly because they haven't finished their inspection yet. However, they're reporting it. It isn't any of interest to me, though. I already know the most important consequence of it. The fire was put out before it could cause any serious damage. I made it out with some minor burns, but there was one casualty in the end. One person incredibly dear to me. Naomi. Out of all the people there, only one lost their life. And out of all the people there, it had to be Naomi. The more I repeat that to myself, the more I try and pretend it never happened. Why? Why her? What did she do to deserve that? That's all I can think. It's my fault. Naomi died because of me. Because I got her involved. I'm to blame. I'm to blame for her death. This wouldn't have happened if I had pushed her away. This wouldn't have happened if I never asked her to shoulder the burden with me. If I weren't so weak, then none of that is relevant anymore, though. There's nothing but what ifs. What I'm facing right now is reality. What I'm facing right now is my own fate. My body gradually loses strength. Today I put up a sign regarding Lionhouse indefinite closure. At first, since the day it opened. I can't even... I'm having a hard time. Usually I make her voice like super ecstatic, but I'm just so taken aback by what just happened. Good evening, my lovely little slaves of fate. Just hearing Parker's voice annoys me. Me too. Having been forcefully brought to the court of fate, all I can do is stare at my own feet. My mind is elsewhere. Something doesn't seem right. Your face ain't right. Think that's it? Don't shrug me off, asshole. You're in quite high spirits, aren't you? Well, will you be surprising me tonight, perhaps? He's bluffing. Whoa, it's number 9! Oh boy. Nope, that's not it. Oh, y'all. Gonna need you to quit acting like you own the joint. Mind letting me in on some fun now? Old 12 over there is right, though. In my line of work, you can just tell when people are fibbing. So you're a detective of sorts, then? Sorry, bud. Gotta keep a few secrets around these parts. Would hate to make things harder on myself. Christ, what is it with you all and running your mouths? Let's just get started. I'm getting bored of how dumb you all sound. Quite the mouth, mademoiselle. Should I say merci beaucoup? Or will plain old thanks do the trick? Whichever you prefer. Talk about shrewd, not bad. Shut up. Just shut up already. I don't give a crap about any of this. Are you? Not even Miharu's voice can make me care. Nothing she says reaches me. As much as I enjoy the banter, I'd rather not drag this on all night. Let's begin, shall we? Allow me to begin tonight's election. Revolve, O Clock of Fate. The clock begins using its normal procedure, confirming each participant's intention for the night. I ignore it completely. Goodness gracious! The clock finishes its revolution. Oh my god, wait, Rinka didn't elect her. Or him. 6 elections in, and we finally have a night with 0 eliminations. Should I take this as a sign that you're all faring well? Maybe so. Tonight's session resulted in no eliminations. I bid you farewell for now. Divine selection continues, regardless of my emotionless state. I'm dragged back into reality in the dream world, in spite of my desire to never wake up. So she decided not to. Okay. It's Monday, apparently, and it looks like it's raining. School? Who cares? Not like I have to go. We've got the day off. As if I care about that. I see Naomi's smile in my mind's eye. Memories of the coffee we made together here come back to me, as does the sweet taste of the cookies she would bring. I ruined all of that. Smothering myself with my blanket is my way of escaping reality. I hear someone ringing the door buzzer, but I ignore it. The same goes for my phone. Any movement at all requires more effort than I want to give. I don't care about anything anymore. Divine selection might as well be over for me. I'll just wait for someone to eliminate me, whether it be this week or the next. Miharu wouldn't do it if I asked her, though. But maybe Alan would. Rennie! A familiar voice rises above the sounds of pouring rain. That they must be shouting pretty loud for me to hear them up here. But I don't care. I close my heart off once more. You can't just shut yourself in. You've got to say a proper goodbye to her. I somehow drag myself over and open the window, a choice that keeps me from attaining true scum status. Oh my god, dude. This picture alone is killing me. Just look at Rika's eyes. They're so dead and lifeless. After I managed that, I forced myself to the town ceremony hall. I'm not quite sure how to approach Naomi's family, but I do manage to at least give them my condolences. Now that I'm here, I realize there's a part of me that can act somewhat naturally despite everything. Sniff. It's probable that I wouldn't have bothered to attend Naomi's funeral if it wasn't for Mao. This is the place to say our farewells. Tears are shed by many, myself included. It's an odd experience. I almost feel like there are two sides of me. One side is distraught and the other feels nothing at all. The sobs that fill the venue drown out the sound of the rain falling. A lot of Mecca students are here, Naomi's classmates, I'd wager. The role she took on at the cultural festival must have played a big part, since she enrolled a mere 2 months ago. In that time, she touched everyone with her sincerity. And yet, that was the very same cultural festival she lost her life. I'm not really sure if I have the right to cry. She never would have died had I not gotten her involved in divine selection. She never would have died had I not brought her to Lion House and helped her with the cultural festival. She never would have died if I had not spoken to her that day at the library. She wouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died. I should have been the one to die. I'll never be able to get over this regret. I have nowhere to vent my despair. Sad doesn't even begin to describe the situation, not when someone like her dies so young. There's no doubt that everyone here wishes this were all a bad dream. I'm sure none of us have come to terms with the reality that Naomi is no longer a part of our lives. Even I haven't accepted it, despite being a witness to the event myself. Why does things turn out this way? If this was all due to fate, then there's nothing I despise more. Naomi. Before I realized it, my two desperate sides merged back into one. I'm unable to hold back any longer. I weep openly in public. Now, Rin, you're not the only one who's sad, Rinny. None of us can believe she's gone. Naomi. Rinkai. Naomi's funeral ends in a blink of an eye. Lacking the will to eat, I dive right back into bed when I get home. I'm not sure when I fell asleep or what time I woke up. A distinct emptiness assaults me as soon as I do wake up, though. I dreamt of all the times I spent with Naomi. None of that means anything now. They're all just past events. In this moment, I truly understand how it feels to have regrets that are lodged in the past. Things that are moving along at the school. They're finally going to carry out investigation under the assumption that it was a terrorist attack. As such, it'll be closed for another week. That's perfect for me, considering it takes all my energy just to get out of bed. Under normal circumstances, I would have relied on my gran here, but it just so happens that the person she's taking care of collapsed on Saturday night. She's busy helping them. I need to deal with this on my own. Another day passes, another day of me doing absolutely nothing. Mishima Miharu's course of action in the face of recent events is stark contrast to that of Shishimai Rinka's. The despair displayed on Rinka's part has only served to fuel Miharu's determination. She may have found Naomi unpleasant, but at no point did she wish for things to play out as she did. I'll do everything I can for her. And while the high school portion of Emeka may be closed, the middle school and university campus are operating like normal. This allows Miharu to make use of the library. Right now, her priority is to put everything into perspective. In this regard, number 4 is of the utmost priority. Miharu is well aware of his name, Yu. She overheard Rinka muttering it to herself before. She is also aware that he is the one responsible for Naomi's death, having planted bombs in the classroom. For whatever reason, he seems desperate for Rinka to kill him, too. I'm honestly not sure what's going on. I may not have been close with her, but Naomi's death is taking its toll on me as well. I mean, anybody... Like, that would suck no matter who you are. Like, I personally haven't had the experience yet, but just being in a class with someone, even if you don't really know them, and finding out that they died, especially on campus, I mean, honest to God, like, that would take its toll on anybody. I think I'm going to end off here, as Miharu's going to do her investigation. So, thank you all for watching. Make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Probably rest in peace, Naomi. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. I'll be recording tomorrow. So, hopefully I should be over this by then.